Letter of Mrs. Ma. Cristina Rocco Corona requesting the grant of retirement and other benefits to the late former Chief Justice Renato C. Corona and her claim for survivorship pension as his wife under Republic Act No. 9946 AM No. 20-07-10 SC, January 12, 2021, Hernando, J. Doctrine of the case. An impeached public officer whose civil, criminal, or administrative liability was not judicially established may be considered involuntarily retired from service and is entitled to retirement benefits. Retirement is deemed involuntary when one's profession is terminated for reasons outside the control and discretion of the worker. Impeachment resulting in removal from holding office falls under the column on involuntary retirement. Thus, until his liability under the law is so established before the courts of law, retirement eligibility and benefits have properly accrued to Chief Justice Corona when he was removed by impeachment on May 29, 2012. There being no such determination of liability, his entitlement thereto subsisted. Facts. Renato Coronado Corona, was the Chief Justice of the Philippines for 8 years after his appointment on May 12, 2010 until being indicted through an impeachment by the House of Representatives pursuant to Section 2, Article 6 of the 1987 Constitution. The grounds of his impeachment were betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution, and graft and corruption. Senate declared Corona unfit to hold the position and removed him from office because of non-declaration of statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth (SALN). Because of the stress from trial, Corona's health quickly deteriorated, leading to his death in 2016. The pending criminal cases on graft and corruption were all dismissed. His widow, Mrs. Ma. Cristina Rocco Corona, Mrs. Corona, asserted that the Senate judgment be voided for insufficiency and non-compliance with Section 14, Art. 8 of the Constitution because the impeachment merely stripped him of his political capacity as Chief Justice. Hence, she prayed for the retirement benefits and other gratuities provided for under RA No. 9946, and survivorship pension under Admin Circ No. 81/2010. Issue. Should the retirement benefits, other gratuities, and survivorship pension be accorded to Mrs. Corona as the spouse of the late Chief Justice Corona despite the latter's ouster by impeachment? Ruling. Yes. The court grants the plea of Corona's widow. The effects of a judgment on an impeachment complaint extend no further than to removal from office and disqualification from holding any public office. Since the Constitution expressly limited the nature of impeachment, its effects must consequently and necessarily be confined within the constitutional limits. Impeachment proceedings are entirely separate, distinct, and independent from any other actionable wrong or cause of action a party may have against the impeached officer, even if such wrong or cause of action may have a colorable connection to the grounds for which the officer have been impeached. An impeached public officer whose civil, criminal, or administrative liability was not judicially established may be considered involuntarily retired from service. Retirement is the termination of one's employment or career, especially upon reaching a certain age or for health reasons. To retire is to withdraw from one's position or occupation, or to conclude one's active working life or professional career. Retirement is deemed involuntary when one's profession is terminated for reasons outside the control and discretion of the worker. Impeachment resulting in removal from holding office falls under the column on involuntary retirement. XXX. The requirements are straightforward and have all been satisfactorily complied with by the late Chief Justice. However, whether criminal, civil, or administrative, no court imposed any such liability upon the late Chief Justice. Impeachment is only preparatory to liability. Since a removal by impeachment does not explicitly provide for forfeiture as a consequence thereof, as opposed to a criminal conviction carrying the penalty of perpetual or absolute disqualification, an impeached official, like former Chief Justice Corona, cannot be deprived of his retirement benefits on the sole ground of his removal. Such forfeiture could have been imposed upon criminal conviction which, however, was preempted by his death. Viewing it from another angle, a judgment of liability in a separate legal proceeding is a resolutory condition after a verdict of ouster by impeachment has been rendered, in that the impeached official retains all the post. Employment privileges already earned unless otherwise declared by the competent tribunals. Until his liability under the law is so established before the courts of law, retirement eligibility and benefits have properly accrued to Chief Justice Corona when he was removed by impeachment on May 29, 2012. There being no such determination of liability, his entitlement thereto subsisted.